Hey, who saw that coming, hey? Not this guy. I'll tell you that for free. And I'm sitting here now at the end of the game thinking Manchester United have just been robbed. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm not thinking, oh, do you know what? I'll take a point. Nah, I'm not happy with a point in the situation that we find ourselves in now because United were robbed. Manchester United should be coming away from Anfield there with 3 points because we deserve that. We absolutely deserve that. Now, I'm all right. I'm not telling you it's not a penalty. I think it's soft. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I'll go, okay, it's a penalty. So's the other one. So's the other one. The amount of times I've seen Manchester United players shoot and it's hit someone's arm in the box and we are told it's not an unnatural position, it's too close for them to react, not handball. Cool. Talk to me. And arguably, I think it was Van Dijk's arm, is in a more unnatural position for the one that didn't even get looked at. This is the problem. I don't necessarily think VAR makes incorrect decisions. I think VAR chooses what it looks at. And that's wrong. There has to be some sort of an appeal where it's a one-time play or if you get it and it doesn't get given, you lose it or some shit like that, like a challenge. Because there's instances happening in games. Like if it's frivolous, you lose it. That's fine, right? But there's incidents happening in games where I'm sure if you go, do you know what? Nah, penalty, watch. And you make them review it. Because it's bullshit that things get reviewed and things don't get reviewed. How is that the same? How is the same incident happening 5 minutes apart in a game getting a different result? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm fine if you want to say that's a penalty. I don't necessarily agree with you, but I'm okay with the fact that you say that that's a penalty. Okay, cool. Well, it's a penalty for both teams then, isn't it? Outside of that, let's talk about the game. Trent Alexander-Arnold was Manchester United's best player, as he so often is. I really don't get the myth and the hype around Trent. He's dog shit. He is a horrendous footballer. Oh, look, he can whip across. No, he can't. He's absolute carpet bombing. People compare him to David Beckham. It makes me actually physically violently ill when you try and compare him to David Beckham. It's so damn disrespectful. It's a joke. He's got the defensive awareness of a traffic cone. And he's probably about as effective in a defensive line as a fucking traffic cone as well. Useless bastard. But he was United's best player today. If it wasn't for him, as soon as he went off, I was like, I'm not getting back into this. And actually, towards the end, Aaron Maguire leans back. He gets over it. You know, I do know it's bouncing on him, so I'm not going to hammer him for it. But he's got an opportunity there to win the game for us, hasn't he? And that would have been a famous victory for Manchester United. And actually, I actually believe we would have deserved it. I actually believed we did enough. And we were. I think you play another 5 minutes. I know we had 7. I think you play another 5 minutes. Liverpool were hanging on for that point. Now maybe because that psychologically they don't want to lose a home game. Got a very good home record, but maybe psychologically don't want to lose a home game that could be very important in a title race. And sometimes just grinding out a point, they're probably going to win the league. Let's be real with them. Sometimes that can be very effective for you, where we're generally in a not really got a lot to lose kind of situation. Everyone thinking United are going to turn up there and get our fucking prostates checked by them. But that wasn't how it ended up going down. United went out on a front foot. And actually, what I have to say is we've seen Ruben Amorim's Manchester United go away to Arsenal, to City, to Spurs, to Liverpool, and we've performed well. Now, we've had a mixed bag of results, but we've performed well. Arsenal only beat us by a couple of dodgy corners. Liverpool only managed to scrape a point against us because of a bullshit handball, which, if they're calling it fair, we get one as well. And we go on and win the game, theoretically. Obviously, I know that it doesn't always technically work like that. We beat City, and, we shit the bed a little bit against Spurs, if we're being honest with ourselves. But we nearly got back into it. So, whereas under 10, with Ollie, we had a phenomenal away record. People put that down to no fans being in the ground, which I don't understand why that's a thing. I really don't, because it's not just no fans for us, everybody has no fans, and we were still like the best away record. I don't know why people try and diminish that we had, by being like, oh, there's no fans. Okay, cool. Only for us, or is it everyone? Right, all right. And then under Ten Hag, we had like an utter dog shit away record, didn't we? So it's about seeing what this manager can do to maybe bring a bit more risk at home. Teams are obviously coming to Old Trafford, maybe 5-10% a little bit more defensive, and we're struggling to break that down a little bit. Maybe the setup in that today was the right setup. I think you have to hold your hands up and say no matter what, it probably was the correct setup. But I think at times also it was highlighting where we're absolutely desperate. Now, I think Diallo probably had his best game under Amorim today, but we can still massively improve on him in that area. I also think we can improve on Rasmus Hojlund. Now, if you'd put in an effective left wing back and an effective striker in that today, Manchester United really could have put it on him. Really could have put it on him. And then obviously it was nice to see Xerxes coming off the bench, because that could have been his Manchester United career finished. Mentally, he could have been absolutely finished. And I thought, as he goes through in the end, I'm thinking, fucking burst the net, mate. Burst the net, because there's no better way for you to win the United fans back. I mean, I don't agree with the booing in the first place anyway, but what a way to silence the boos it would have been for you to fucking bang an extra set into the top corner against Liverpool at Anfield. Forget that. You'll have a fucking chant by tomorrow morning. But he chooses to pass it, which is a good decision. And obviously, Maguire leans back a little bit and sends it over the bar. But it was nice to see. Nice to see him getting a run out, because that means obviously he's in the plans. I think it also highlights just how shallow we are in certain positions. Obviously, we brought Euro on for De Ligt, showing that we have got a little bit of depth, at least in defence. But in midfield, you haven't really got it. Mainu and Ugarte had a great game today, I thought. Mainu, I don't know if he's the right answer in that sixth position in games like today, where you're going to be battling and asking him to go to war a little bit. Ugarte absolutely revelled in it. Ugarte was probably, out of the players that were wearing a United shirt, he was probably United's best player. On the pitch, it was Trent. But out of the ones wearing a United kit, I thought Ugarte was toppers. I thought he was absolutely top. And I always thought he would sort of thrive in those games. I've said it countless times. You go to Anfield away, you go to Etihad away, he's the first name on a team sheet. And we missed him last week when he was suspended. But he had a fantastic game today. And that's why in my preview, I put him and Mazraoui alongside each other and went with a back three of Euro de Ligt Martinez. Because I think you put someone that's a little bit more defensive-minded, you allow Mainu to do the things that he generally excels at, which is the creativity in the final third. Obviously, the setup worked, so I'm not complaining too much on it. I'm just saying they did well, but I still think like it's not a natural position for him in a game where you're not going to dominate the ball. If United are going to dominate the ball, like at home, when United are playing whoever, maybe even Liverpool and City at home, I still think Mainu plays in that deeper sort of deep line playmaker position. I think that's fine. But I think away when it's going to be a little bit more tetchy, I would probably go with, another Ugarte if I had one, or maybe a Mazraoui or something like that. People were even in the comments saying, what about Martinez in there? Don't hate it. Do not hate it. But yeah, I'm taking that. Even though we're robbed, I would have absolutely... If you'd have rang me this morning and said, listen, I'm going to stick it on the table for you. You can have a point at Anfield today. I'd been like, a point? Yeah, you can have a point, and you might even come away a little bit disappointed that we didn't win. I'd be like... I had an industrial-sized tub of Sudocrem out, ready to lube my fucking balloon knot up, because I thought we were going to get absolutely fucking batoned. But we didn't. So I've absolutely got to take that. Well done, Ruben Amorim. Well done to the lads today. Go and getting a point. Let's try and build from this now. Let's try and build from this. Arsenal's heads falling off all over the gaff. Could we capitalise on them? Fucking hell, we're getting carried away here, aren't we? Maybe we can. Let's hope anyway. Get your thoughts in below. We'll do 5 things and we'll do the player ratings. There's going to be some interesting ones in the player ratings, I am sure, tomorrow. So check out those. Otherwise, take it easy. Cheers for subscribing. Cheers to all the new members. And I will see you in the next one. Laters.